Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to another episode of Costa Rica Real Estate and Investments with me, your host, Richard Beckson. Today, we've got a very special guest with Leo Ghitis. He is the owner of NYADA Resorts, which, for anyone that doesn't know, is a leader in luxury resorts here in Costa Rica. They also have properties, I believe, down in Chile, and they're also developing one in Puerto Rico at the moment as well. But I mean, it's been impressive to say the least of what NYADA Resorts has been, able to do here in Costa Rica and kind of positively shape the image of Costa Rica and also Arenal as well. I mean, before those guys were in the game, you were looking at, nightly rates around the 500 mark. And actually, then I had a tent camps, I believe, top close to $2,000-$3,000 a night. I mean, just amazing, the beauty of it, the structure, just the detail taken, and it's another level. And I think it's really helping shape the future of tourism here in Costa Rica to be at a very, very luxury level. So we're going to be talking to Leo about his journey and also get his advice of investing in Costa Rica, as he is actually a big investor in real estate in North America and also here in Costa Rica. Remember, guys, if you have any questions for us or would like us to help you with anything, we've actually spoken to quite a few of you. I really appreciate you reaching out. I'm still trying to figure out who I'm going to get for the 100th episode. I have an idea here. I just don't know whether I'm going to be able to get him on the podcast. But hey, you don't ask, you don't get. Remember, you can contact us, info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. But let's get straight into it. Good afternoon, Leo. How are you doing?
Doing great, Richard. Thank you for having me on your program.
The honor is mine, and I'm sure that the people listening to the podcast, I don't know whether they understand how fortunate they are to have somebody that's been so successful here in Costa Rica in creating such a luxury brand on the show. So I'm sure that you're going to be able to give them some great tidbits here.
Thank you for the kind words. Once in a while, everyone deserves to get lucky, and I got lucky this time.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more than luck, Leo, but
hard work makes you lucky.
It does. That's very, very true. So, well, Leo, I mean, you've been in tourism now for quite a few years, but I mean, what recently has surprised you, and are you guys seeing any trends on your side?
Obviously, everyone had a real tough time. Everybody in the industry had a real tough time during the pandemic. But I guess what we did not realize at the time is that long-term, this was going to be good for us, because Costa Rica has always had a very good brand name, but the pandemic made the whole world realize how important is the natural environment, and things that we used to take for granted, most people don't anymore. And Costa Rica embodies sustainability. I mean, Costa Rica was the first country in the world to the first country in the world that believe in being green. And all of a sudden, after the pandemic, everybody realized how important that is. So all of us that have hotels or in the travel industry in Costa Rica are the beneficiaries of the work that Costa Rica has been doing for the last 20 years.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that's only going to continue. Somebody asked me the other day whether, they would ever privatize all the beachfront and sell it off. And I was like, I don't think so. I think you'd have protests in the streets here. But I mean, Costa Rica's biggest resource is its natural resources, which it does not drill. It does not, take advantage of. Well, I mean, it takes advantage of with regards to national parks and, developing a green tourist destinations. But yeah, I mean, it's not mining, hunting is illegal here, drilling for oil is. So yeah, I mean, it really makes it a great place.
No, and Richard, what I find really interesting is I talked to the reservations team, and I asked them because we're pretty automated. I mean, pretty much everybody goes into our system. They check availability, they make their own reservations. So one of the bad parts about this automation is that we don't speak as much with guests. And in the past, when guests used to call, typically they wanted a break on the price. And so I always ask the reservation team, why do people call you? And it's interesting that the minority of the people that call now are interested in discussing pricing. You'd be surprised that the majority wants to understand, wants to talk about sustainability. They want to, before they pull the trigger, before they come to visit to stay with us, they want to know what we're doing in terms of sustainability. And I think that's wonderful, because it gives me hope. And in the younger generation really cares about that. So I think my generation is and older has not done a good job protecting the planet. So I think our biggest hope is that the generations that follow us will do a better job than us.
You're the first person I think to, I mean, I heard about that many years ago, but recently you're the first person that's ever said that to me, that people are asking about, a business's sustainability practices. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's very encouraging.
Well, I mean, Leo, why do you think, I mean, beyond some of the stuff that you've said, I mean, why do you think Costa Rica is a great place to invest? And also, what do you think it offers that potentially North America doesn't?
Really good question. I'm in real estate. That's my main business. I've been in real estate in the US for almost 40 years. And you know what? I like the US a lot. I'm a big believer in real estate in the US, but Costa Rica has a few things that the US does not have. You have universal health care that in the US, for some reason, we don't have. I'll never understand why we don't. And Costa Rica is more accessible. Prices in the US have gotten out of line. It's just hard as an investor to make money in the US. There are some pockets where there's opportunity, but US is pretty tough right now. In Costa Rica, you have everything going. Prices are still very good compared to the US. It's one of the few countries in Latin America where there's no crime, and that's really important. And then what we were discussing before, I mean, Costa Rica has an amazing brand, and people want to be in Costa Rica. People respect and admire everything that Costa Rica has done in terms of sustainability, and that's only going to become more important. And Costa Rica is the green country of the world. Costa Rica is the global success story in terms of sustainability, and people want to be associated with that. So yeah. I think it's myself, I have the two options, and I am more and more inclined to invest in Costa Rica.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I think a lot of people are currently looking at Costa Rica to invest just because, again, they feel that the prices are a little overinflated at the moment, that maybe they're at the peak. And, I think people are hesitant to invest, kind of at the peak, but there's opportunity here in Costa Rica, but also there's a leisure lifestyle aspect to that investment as well. So they get to kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Well, I mean, let's just talk about, your journey with Nayara, if you don't mind me asking. I mean, you've been able to build probably Costa Rica's strongest luxury travel brand. And I think I've said that to you before, and you were like, it's very difficult to see the impact that you have while you're inside the box as it does outside. And I think you guys really have shaped, the luxury market here, and kind of you're the hair that everybody else is chasing. But I mean, what have been the most challenging hurdles you guys have had to overcome?
The most difficult challenge for us is transportation. Yep. We've been lobbying the government to basically allow us, in partnership with the local airport, which is privately held, to allow us to bring private jets. Yep. And it's very difficult and I'm not going to mention names here, but I remember meeting with a prior minister of tourism, and basically they told us, if you can find an airline that will fly, then we will consider providing an immigration officer and a customs officer, and we were willing to pay for that. So we spent a bunch of time. We found an airline that was willing to provide service. When we brought the airline to the Minister of Tourism, she came up with another reason why she was not in agreement with that. So
Yeah.
that I mean, the kind of clients that we cater to many times want to come with their own private jet, and and the only place that they can land is Liberia or San Jose, and in Arenal we're 2.5 hours away of either airport, and what compounds the problem is that the roads are in very bad shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have backpackers, they don't care, but when people are paying over $1,000 a night, they expect a different type of arrival experience. So I would tell you that is the biggest problem. Since I got involved in Costa Rica almost 15 years ago, I've been hearing about the road that was going to be the highway that was going to be built, and nothing happens. It's just that part is a real problem for us.
No, I agree. You know, I always say to people, because they're always like, oh, I've heard about this and I've heard about that. I'm like, until it happens in Costa Rica, don't believe anything, you know. But it's interesting what you were saying about the airstrip there, though, that I mean, I don't understand why we wouldn't do something like that if we have all of these marinas that also have customs and immigration people there. I mean, what is the difference between a marina and an airstrip? I mean, there really is not that much difference.
There's none. You know,
and
you have no idea how many guests do not come to Costa Rica because they want to they want to fly they have a private plane, or they are on those net jets or charter type situations, and the fact that they have to drive 2.5 hours, it's a big deterrent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just kind of switching gears here a little bit, talking about NYADA. I mean, what would you say your guys' secret sauce is? Because I mean, you guys get an amazing average daily rate for being a property that is not on the beach, you know, which is typically people think that they have to be on the beach to get an amazing, you know, ADR. But I mean, you guys, I mean, are a trendsetter. I mean, what would you say your guys' secret sauce is?
It's simple: customer service. Customer service. That's what it's all about. The philosophy at Nayara is that no guest can ever leave unhappy, and it's part of our DNA. We train, and we keep harping on that every time we hire someone. That's the secret sauce.
Yeah. How do you guys finding you know, I suppose workers, employees here in Costa Rica? I mean, do you find that easy, or do you have to train them?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And it's getting more difficult every day. We one of the goals when we started Nayara is that we wanted to give opportunities to the people in the area, and so we do everything we can to hire all of our team from the surrounding towns. We used to have a lot of expats in key positions, and over time we're not doing that anymore, and the goal is that everybody at Nayara will be a Tico. And so what we do is we constantly train the team with the idea that eventually people will be at a situation where they can take over the hotel. And in the case of Nayara, I mean, my partner, since we began this journey, is from Costa Rica, and we always had a resident manager that was an expat, and I'm very happy that as of, I guess, 2 years ago, our resident manager is someone from Costa Rica. He's from La Fortuna. He started with Nayara as a receptionist, and he moved up, and he's probably the best resident manager we've had, and he's a local guy. So that gives me a lot of pride.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see those opportunities for people, and the ability to develop here. And, I mean,
Yeah.
even in our business, our head of finance and our head of travel experience were interns, so, I mean, the opportunities are there. I mean, as you said, it's hard work and determination.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, for anyone wanting to, I suppose, build or invest in hotels here in Costa Rica, I mean, what advice would you give them?
Find a site very close to either Liberia or San Jose,
Yep.
because the roads are not getting better. I think they're getting worse, and there are no, and I don't see for many years more international airports.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been our biggest struggle. So I would say, don't repeat the mistake that we made.
Well, you've not done too badly from it, but I agree. I mean, those roads, I get a lot of people complaining about car sickness just because of the, kind of the windbacks. I mean, I think it's a little easier from Liberia. It's a little bit more difficult from San Jose, but yeah, I think that's great advice to put your property not too far away from an airport. So, Leo, are there any other projects that you're currently working on that you want to tell us about?
Yeah, obviously, when I'm working on projects, I typically sign a confidentiality agreement.
Oh yeah, you don't need to tell us any of those ones.
Yeah, no. So I'll tell you without being very specific, so I don't get in trouble. We've been working for several years now on a project on the Central Pacific on the beach, and that project is getting closer and closer to fruition. I'm hoping that we will be able to break ground in the next 6 months, and that's a project that I'm very excited about. We have a project in another one in Central America, also a beach location outside of Costa Rica. 2 hotels under development in the Caribbean, and 1 hotel in the Middle East.
Wow.
So we're staying busy. We obviously love Costa Rica, but there's so much development happening in Costa Rica, and so many hotels that have announced that they're coming to the country, and there's going to be such large supply of product that I'm a little concerned about building another hotel in Costa Rica. So besides the one in the Pacific, I think we are at this point focusing mostly on opportunities outside of Costa Rica.
Well, I mean, if you inherited $500,000, Leo, this is my last question for you. Again, I really appreciate your time, as I know that you're very, very busy. If you inherited $500,000 and had to invest it into a business or real estate in Costa Rica, what would you do with it?
I'll answer the same way that before we started the call. I would ask you to help me with that. you know Costa Rica, the residential market better than anyone else. I mean, every time that I try to get a hold of you, you are inspecting some location, you're on the road, you know what's going on. So anybody who wants to invest in Costa Rica, I think the first phone call that I would make would be to you.
Thank you very much, Leo. Thank you. Well, Leo, I know you're very busy. I want to appreciate you very much for coming on here. I think this is going to be a big help for anybody looking to, invest in tourism here in Costa Rica. And I'll put all your the hotel details in the description here. And I hope you have a great weekend.
Richard, thank you for everything that you're doing for Costa Rica, the lobbying that you're doing on behalf of all of us. Your team is great. So we really cherish our relationship and everything you guys do for us. So again, thank you very much and have a nice weekend.
Thank you very much. Bye. Great podcast there with Leo, owner of NYADA Resorts. I think as you can see there, NYADA Resorts is creating kind of a luxury soft brand. And actually they, are partnering with a lot of luxury hotels throughout the world at the moment. They have some stuff in South America. They're looking at other stuff in Central America and also building another beachfront property here in Costa Rica. But again, they are already market leaders the hare that everybody is kind of chasing at the moment. So, I mean, we were very, very lucky for Leo to be able to find the time to do that podcast with us and really kind of open, the doors there to just understand the journey that he's been through and also the challenges that, his business has. I think you'll find that every business has challenges, but where there's challenge, of course, there is always opportunity as well. So remember, guys, if you would like to get in contact with us, you can do info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. We're happy to help in anything that we can. A lot of people are contacting us that are looking to invest or build here. Part of the company actually does project manage. We don't build, but we do a lot of project management here in Costa Rica and understand the rental market very well and also the investment market. And the beach towns are growing. Just sometimes people don't know that tourism comes first and then real estate. So we have all of the tourism data and are able to kind of extrapolate that to really understand where, the future of real estate is going in this country. So remember, you can contact us, info@investingcostarica.com. Until the next podcast, guys, thanks very much.